Well, on today's episode of This Darn Plymouth, sometimes it's just the little things that just drive you absolutely nuts when you're working on one of these older cars. First, can't get the gas gauge to work. I thought it was just a ground strap on the tank, but it's not it. Temperature gauge, it's not even hooked up, so I think it might be there's a voltage regulator back here. Alternator gauge works, but it's not really in with all these other ones. So the dash, I need to get my hand up there so I can try to remove that regulator that just pushes in from the back, see if that will fix it. And I took this car to the gas station the other day. Like, the horn doesn't work. That could be the relay underneath the hood. But all this is loose. And you see this. It shouldn't go up that high. So there's a couple bolts that have came loose or something. I think this car was originally automatic on the column, and these parts got swapped out when the 4-speed happened. That was a while ago. I don't know what really has happened in between then and now. I do have another cluster. I'm gonna try to use like 2 of them, make one good one, because these gauges are they're just kind of crappy looking. The plastic is cracked on this one. It's not cracked on the other one I got. So I'm just going to take 2 gauge clusters, hopefully make one good one. None of the lights work. On the dash, the turn signal, this one, when you need to go to the left, it will light up. The right one doesn't do anything. So those are just a bunch of like little push in and twist lights that go in it. And I mean, I like to have all that stuff working. It's nothing worse than when you're trying to drive in the dark somewhere and you got to get your flashlight out and shine, see how much fuel you have or whatever. So I'm going to pull the steering wheel off now, see what's going on. Let's just get this anti-rattle device off the steering wheel here first. But I can't really hold this camera and pull this wheel off, so I'll just get back with you in a minute. So taking this steering wheel off, here's the centerpiece for the horn. This whole thing, you can touch it and it's supposed to meep, but there's no meep right now. So just twist this off. That's what holds it on there. You got this horn wire, and you got 3 Phillips head screws. I mean, take these screws loose, pull this piece off. So I'm gonna try to do that right now. For the love of God, how tight are these screws? Well, I gotta put the camera down because I can't turn that with one hand. All right, I'm taking the last screw out, and if you can see that, there was a pencil stuck back in here. Number 2, the official pencil of test taking. All right, So got all that off. Got the steering wheel puller on. It's like the best 20 bucks or whatever it is you can buy if you have an old car. For you need one of these, or you can make one, but you just zip that on there, boom, steering wheel comes off. And that turn signal switch is seen better days. It's supposed to have ears on here, because I believe 69 Mopars were the first year that where they're, you know, if you had this up and going to the right until you turn the wheel, it's supposed to kick back down. It's supposed to turn itself off, you know. Yeah, it's just loose because it ain't freaking bolted on. Great. Great, grand, wonderful. Okay, I found some of the slop issue. And obviously I think this piece right here, there's something missing that goes between this and this to bolt all this tight. So I'm gonna have to hold off on trying to figure that out right now. You know, there is a snap ring here that holds this bearing in. This snap ring came loose and was up here instead of down there against the bearing. So I pulled that off. I reorientated this, so now it can't really do what it's supposed to do. But the bearing is tight with the snap ring back in its correct orientation. So I'm gonna put this back together for now because it's a Saturday. I doubt I'm just gonna stumble upon that part to figure out what I need to bolt this to this today. So I'm just gonna put it back together. I can still move it around the yard. I feel a lot better now that I found that snap ring was out and it's now back in. So, you know, it eliminated a lot of the slop. I mean, it still has a little bit, but I mean, that's nothing compared to the way it was. So I'm gonna put this back together, put the steering wheel back on, and we'll see. I mean, obviously I'm not fixing that turn signal switch. I mean, that thing's roached. I mean, I do got one out of the 70 Charger, but it was bad too. And typically when these go bad, one of the lights won't work, and that's what happened to it. I think the left turn signal went out. So I'm gonna put all this back together, and then we'll keep going forward from there. You like working on cars? Oh yeah, I got the steering wheel on. It's like night and day difference. That snap ring was definitely a huge issue. So glad I didn't try to take this thing up and start banging gears and, you know, flying. You know, this is bolted on for sure, but all that amount of slop, something could have happened. Better be safe than sorry. This is, you know, like normal, like it should be now too. But I want to go do some research on these adapters, or whatever they are, decorative pieces. I don't know the right term. But yes, it's a lot better. Now comes the absolute not fun part, which I'll probably make another video on, which is taking these gauges apart. Never taken these pads off before, so I mean, this is going to be, it's not very fun, I don't think. Anytime you're sticking your hand up inside of these cars, it's like if they would make knives as sharp as the pieces they make these dashes, I mean, you could cut anything. These things seem like they're all just freaking razor sharp. Well, and not to say I can say that I showed you guys anything, because I didn't really fix anything other than that snap ring. So I'll probably just make this video along with another video, just bundle them together. Oh yeah, I gotta fix that weather stripping. It came loose. And there's definitely a love and a hate with these old cars. I mean, you love them to drive them and the sounds they make and the memories they bring. But it's like this little tedious stuff. That's the stuff that really sucks. You know, you put a radio in, it's you either have sound or you don't. You know, putting the hood on, the wheels on, instant gratification. But putting the lights in here, making all the gauges work, it's only you that really cares about it. You know, it's only me that cares about it. But it's the little things that kill you when it comes to this stuff. And the older I'm getting, the more time I'm trying to take to make sure, like, I want all my gauges to work. You know, if the 16-year-old me would have got this car, I would have never thought about any of this crap. I would have just drove it, put $10 worth of gas in it every day, and been happy about it. Not that I'm not happy now, but I just want to step it up and make it a better car. So, thanks for watching this part. I'll hopefully get to the next part soon. Bye.